My name is Rachel Woodward. I own a fashion company called the Red Ant, or Red Ant Fashion, or the Red Ant LLC. It's got many different names. The Red Ant started off as me designing wearable art and costuming in my early 20s, and then later on the Red Ant became its own entity. In 2001 was the car crash, and so I'd lost the use of my legs, and then I had regained the use of my legs, and this whole other world opened up for me. And it was like a whirlwind, because I was definitely being pulled in a lot of different directions. Not just personally, but emotionally, spiritually, and then on a family level. There was a lot of things happening during that period of time. There was also a lot of growing up that was needing to happen that I think there was a lot of resistance to. Basically in 2001, my son, who was 6 years old at the time, was in a truck with me. I had just bought it, and we were going over a wide curve that went over a low bridge in Seligman, Arizona off the I-40. It was snowing out. I hit black ice. The truck flipped, so the tail went over the front end while bouncing sideways this way, 70 miles an hour, and flipped off the bridge and down an embankment and landed upside down.
I think I started back like when I was like 5 or 6 girls. My mom used to send us to Girls Club and I learned how to sew. And then my mom used to crochet, and that was how she raised all of us kids. She did the Renaissance fairs and crocheted hats and bags and accessories. And then as I got older, I started crocheting for...
I dressed exactly the same as I did when I was like 5 or 6. Growing up, my idols as far as women that I looked up to was Pippi Longstocking, Annie. Those were the women that I totally idolized. I wanted to be just like. Punky Brewster was another one of my favorites. They were very strong and empowered little girls, but they were free. They knew how to play, and they knew how to play hard, but they were rough and they were tough, but they were still really feminine. And that, for me, was what I looked up to as a kid. And I think I was Pippi Longstocking like 3 or 4 years in a row when I was a little girl. And I definitely think they've been huge inspirations in my life. They were definitely female role models that I identified with and looked up to, and I do think that I kind of embraced that over the years, and I definitely think that it's influenced my art and who I am now. I think the vision for Red Ant in the beginning, mind you, like Red Ant really started back in 2003, which I had a near-death experience in 2001, and it took me a long time. I spent a long time in a wheelchair, not able to walk, and then relearning how to walk and relearn how to do everything from the waist down. So I think when I started Red Ant, a lot of it had to do with art therapy, and it had to do with that journey that we all go on inside ourselves. And it's a journey that you can't really take people with you. It's a personal journey of discovering who you are. When
mostly life experiences, people, I would say emotion is a really huge one. Anytime that you can evoke an emotion, creating beauty from sadness, experiences that you have, definitely draw from that, things that you see, movies, anything like that.
Fashion for me is very much like alchemy. It's taking one thing and transforming it into something else. And when you put on clothes, there's a feeling that happens, there's an emotion that happens, there's this inner self, this inner child that kind of comes out to play, and you kind of step into that role and kind of embrace it.
And it's interesting because you're in your 20s, you're so driven by your ego, and then you hit your 30s, you just don't care. And now I would say that I've just kind of accepted that's part of who I am, that's part of what I do, and regardless of what I do, it's just a part of me. And it's definitely the most where I feel the most at home, and it's almost like lots of fun, which to me, how people treat you and how you treat them and your experience and what you take from that goes a long way. So I don't know, it's been awesome so far. My name is Rachel Nordahl, and I am Red Ant Fashion, and I am a raw artist.